Okay, so let's have a look at some balance patch notes. Alright, what have we got here? Elementalist. Flame Strike. Reduced initial burning duration to 1 second, and the secondary burn duration also have been nerfed to 1.5 seconds. Okay, so that's quite a big nerf. Half a second and 1 second? That's quite a lot. That's a large amount. Shadowstone. It's actually increased the cooldown. Ooh, this is another nerf by another 3 seconds. That's actually a big nerf as well. Water Trident. They've reduced the power coefficient by 0.25, so it's down to 1. That's another pretty hefty nerf. And reduced the bonus damage as well by a huge amount. Holy shit. By 17%. So it's 33% now. Wow, that's a really big nerf. I guess Ellie's were overperforming, and I guess these are good changes. Maybe some people have been complaining about Ellie a little bit, you know. And you finally got what you wanted, boys and girls, if that's what you wanted. If you're an Ellie main, though, you are now crying. You are crying. But it's okay. You had fun while it lasted. Maybe it's still good, though. Maybe it's still broken. Hurl, reduced power coefficient to 0.26. It's a very slight little touch on that. Churning Earth. Well, we expected that. We expected that. That was a very, very powerful skill. But it's not been nerfed that much. It's still 1.5 power coefficient. So it's pretty good. And they've reduced the bleeding stacks as well from 8 stacks to 4 stacks. Overtuned a little bit. But, you know, there's other stuff that they could nerf as well. Let's see what they do. Signet Restoration. Of course they've increased the Signet cooldown because people were spamming Signets. Obviously. So instead of changing the trait, the traits around and the interactions with Signets, they've just decided to nerf the cooldowns of the Signets by 5 seconds on Restoration and Earth, and the water has reduced condition duration reduction from 20 to 10%. So again, that's pretty significant. Written in Stone also reduced Frost Aura duration from 4 to 2. That is beautiful. That is a nice change. Okay, I think those changes are good. That's a pretty good nerf to the things that were kind of overpowered. What do we have here? Catalyst. Deploy Jade Sphere in fire. Reduce the might duration. I mean, understandable, I guess. Energized elements. Reduced might duration from 6 to 3. Okay, so they're trying to tackle the crazy might generation of Catalyst. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because it was a weird patch like, where they kind of like almost gave it more quickness and more might, but luckily it wasn't in World vs. World. It was only in PvE. Thank God, because that would have been absolutely nuts. But yeah, so they've kind of touched the might because it was very. I don't know how it's going to perform now, boys, but I'm expecting that you're not going to be able to keep that might up for as long. Maybe you can still get 25 might, maybe. But obviously, maybe just the ramp-up time is longer, and the time that you have that might is going to be reduced. So let's see how that performs. Spectacular Sphere reduced might stacks again from 5 to 1. That's huge. That is a huge nerf. Reduced Vigor from 5 to 3 in PvP and World vs. World. Reduced Fury duration as well from 5 to 3 in PvP and World vs. World. And reduced the resistance duration from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. Well, Ellie has been gutted, boys. It has been gutted. Is that the end of the Catalyst gaming Signet abusers? Staunch auras. Reduce the stability as well from 2 to 1 second in PvP only, though. So if you're a PvP player, you will feel that. So Engineer. Oh, very nice. Vital Burst. Increased healing attribute scaling from 1.03 to 1.7. That is a big buff to the support Scrapper. Very nice. Very, very nice. I agree. Should buff Scrapper a little bit. I think that's a good change. Infusion Bomb. Reduced the cooldown from 30 to 20 seconds. That is a huge buff again. So anyone who liked playing Scrapper support and was jumping on the new bandwagon called Heal Vindicator Revenant, will this entice you back? Will you be playing Scrapper once again? But they've reduced the boon duration just slightly on that as well. Super Elixir. This is a big big buff again. Healing attribute scaling 0.4 to 0.8. Wow. Guys, you all playing Healing Scrapper. Okay, I'm going to tell you a secret, guys. Healing Scrapper is not the play. I've got some breaking news for you guys. I've been doing some huge investigative... investigation? Anyway, whatever the word is, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I've been digging in the sand of the other side of the world. I've been roaming, boys. We went on NA, boys, and the new tech is not Heal Scrapper. It is Heal Hollow. Heal Hollow is the new meta, boys. 1 per 25-man squad. It's the new tech. Shout out to Striker for doing that science for us. I could explain more why it's so good, why the tech is so good, but I'm not going to, because I feel like you guys aren't ready for it just yet. You guys aren't ready for it, and I think there's going to be a lot of sad faces, surprised faces, confused faces, laugh emojis in the chat if I say anything more about this. And I don't want you guys to cancel me and unsubscribe. So, but anyway, all I can say is super speed is nice. Right, Scrapper, Blast Gyro, reduce the cooldown. Oh, in PvE, unlucky. If only that was WoW vs. WoD. Increase the might duration also in PvE. Okay, well, rejoice PvE Scrappers if you played that in PvE. Symbol of Resolution. This skill can now be interrupted by other skills. Oh, you mean you don't need to stow weapon to reduce the aftercast of Symbol of Resolution anymore, boys? So you don't have to bind. So this is perfect for those casual gamers out there who don't have a keybind for stow weapon. Now, what you could do is you could basically, it was like Flurry. You could basically place the skill and then move around with WASD and you could cancel the cast by just moving, right? But now, you don't even need to do that. You can just use a skill. You can just press 4 and then 2. Ray of Judgment reduced aftercast. That's a nice quality of life little significant change. I like that. Binding Blade. This skill will now use a different animation with less aftercast. Again, very, very nice for getting those juicy pulls if you are a great sword abuser. Willbender. Oh, what do they do to Willbender? Phoenix Protocol. This trait now grants alacrity to the Willbender when activating Flowing Resolve. 5 seconds in PvE, 3 seconds in WoW vs. WoD, which can be shared to allies with battle presence. Insane, boys, insane. Now you can give alacrity to your allies on Willbender. Surely you will take this trait. Maybe? Will you? People think Willbender's bad, by the way. I'm just going to tell you right here now. Right here and right now. Stop coping on DH, guys. Okay? Yo, Raju, where are you? Wait, you listening, bruv? He wants to play Scourge and DH still. I like it. I like it. He wants to go old school, bring back Scourges, bring back stacking DHs. It could work, guys. It can work. The thing is, though, is unfortunately, the game seems to be a very highly melee-orientated situation right now. There's not much pirate shipping going on. A lot of people are just pushing their fucking W key into the enemy. And Willbender just loves that shit. So I think Willbender is definitely the play right now over DH. But if you play around DH and how it plays, it's quite possible that DHs could be good. You got to play around it though. You got to play very defensive with your the way you play. It could work, but DH unfortunately is not doing much damage. Those traps aren't really going to kill those Willbenders and those Berserker Warriors because they have like so much sustain through traits. They take no damage, and also Also, if you put down traps and enemy just avoids the traps, then GG, you know, you're fucking... It's like basically missing your bomb, you know? Whereas Willbender kind of has damage all the time. It's insane. It can just keep doing damage. It has no, like, cooldown, right? You can spin, you can spin, you can spin, you can punch, you can punch, you can do this, that, and, like, it has infinite, like... Do you know, with alacrity, it's like a god. Anyway, and it's unkillable. Pretty much unkillable. If you use the right traits, go check out the build on hardstuck.gg. Nice little plug there, boys. This stream is sponsored by Hardstuck. What a surprise. No, it isn't. Reduce the alacrity duration when resolve triggers from 1.5 to 1 second in PvE. Okay, and then restorative virtues. This trait now grants vigor instead of alacrity. Oh, that's really bad. You don't need dodges. You've got evades. You have enough dodges. You don't need the... What's this? We'll see which traits you pick. We'll go check it out. Right, Necromancer. Stretch time. Reduce Phantasm alacrity duration from 2 to 1 second in PvP, and from 3 seconds to 1 second in Wild vs. Wild. Oh, shit, dude. Well, unlucky. And obviously, they nerfed the quickness as well. Of course they did. Of course they fucking did, dude. Well, even more reason to not pick those traits, boys. I mean, the quickness is still good, but fuck, they've really fucked that hard. Holy shit, Chrono got absolutely destroyed once again. You thought, well, that clown right there is the Necromancer. Holy shit, that is a fucking huge nerf, dude. I was enjoying playing Alak for the utility. The quickness was really, really nice. I favored the quickness overall. I think the quickness was really big value in terms of getting off your skills faster and doing huge combos within the continuum split duration. It allowed me to do big things. Will I still be able to do big things? Yes, I will, because the quickness, all I need is like a few seconds. I don't need too many. So this will be absolutely fine. It is quite possible that you might play the Chrono resummon trait. Depending on how many Chronos you have in the squad, I can really see the Phantasm abusers still being a thing. I think Phantasms are buffed. They now not only are they better than minions, boys, because they don't die, but they also can be respawned with another trait. So this might be even more of a reason to play the resummon trait. And with distortion on Phantasms, they are unkillable. So, yeah. If you're seeing invulnerable all over your screen, unlucky. But yeah, we kind of expected them to nerf that a little bit. It was pretty strong. And obviously, if something's really strong, and a Mesmer especially is having fun in the game, devs really hate Necromancer. They really hate Mesmer. They want to nerf it. They're trying to take away the focus. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. And then eventually, they just want you to play something else like Ellie. No, wait. Ellie's nerfed as well. What do they want us to play now, chat? What's the new... I have no idea. What are we supposed to play now, Reading it? Tell me. Virtuoso, maybe, boys. Okay, so, Mirage. Chaos Vortex. This skill no longer applies a lack. Mirage Mantle. This trait has been reworked and now improves ambush skills. Ah, yeah, I remember this. So, Mirage Thrust will remove a boon. That's quite big. That is pretty big, dude. I could see that being very, very strong. Mirage Thrust is the sword. The sword skill. Not only does it interrupt, with Absorption Sigil, you can actually abuse this and probably remove quite a few boons. And then add on Nullification Sigil. With one of those skills, you're probably going to remove like 5 boons. Like, it's going to be insane. Ether Barrage grants quickness to self. Okay, I like that. That's interesting. Quickness on like a Condi build or hybrid build. Cripple on imaginary axes. I mean, that's whatever. Split Surge deals increased damage. It's kind of nice, but it's padding. It's padding damage. So it's kind of irrelevant. Chaos Vortex AoE Alacrity. 2.5 seconds for the player, 0.5 seconds for the clone. Okay, Blade Requiem. Okay, they buffed the damage on F5. Okay, whatever. Didn't do any damage anyway. Well of Blood, reduced initial base self-heal. From... Oh, it's PV only. PV only. Okay, it's PvE. Scourge. This is PvE. PvE. Okay, this is the big one that I was looking forward to see. So, okay, let me try this out. This skill now grants 1.5 second protection to nearby allies each pulse, and 3 seconds of protection to nearby allies on detonation. Okay, how many pulses is it? Like 5. That's pretty big. I like that. That's going to be, like, huge. That's going to be huge, to be honest. If you play Scourge, that is. I mean, I'm going to play Scourge Greatsword 100% when I get Greatsword, man. Like, when I get Greatsword, boys, I'm going to be gaming on Scourge Greatsword 100%. It's going to be fucking so nice. And then if your com's going... If your com is a Giga Chad and he's, like, pushing, then you play Reaper. Aren't you perma-protect anyway? Yeah, you are perma-protect, but it can get ripped, right? So... Also, your allies might die because they're scrubs. So, you know, it's always nice to have more. It's always nice to have, like, take no damage. I mean, you would take that anyway, I think. I don't think you'd take any other trait, to be honest. I think with the nerf to all the corrupts, I think you have to take that trait now. It can rip so many boons. It's really, really good. Fell Beacon. What's this one? Doesn't reduce the torch skills. Now increases the damage of burning by 10%. I mean, okay. I guess if you're a Condi boy, Condi Scourge, you're going to love that. Is that in all game modes as well? That's quite good. PvE, PvE, PvE. What's this one? This trait now reworked. Sadistic Searing and causes your Nefarious to burn nearby enemy targets. Nah, fucking, it's just more con debuffs. Sand Sage. You gain some stuff while you have an active shade. Okay, 150. Interesting. Concentration. So it's basically they've just buffed Condi Scourge pretty much. This trait has been reworked. Reduce all incoming damage while you have an active shade by 7% in Wild vs. Wild. Okay. Alright, well, they buffed Condi Scourge a little bit if you're a Condi Scourge gamer. I know Condi Scourge can perform pretty well. Not sure if it's going to be played a lot, though. Not many people will play that, I don't think. Right, Ranger. Increase might as PvE, PvE, PvE. Okay, this is all PvE stuff. That's all PvE. What's this one? Untamed, Let Loose. Increase quickness duration. That's PvE, sorry. This trait now immediately grants access to Unleashed Ambush skill while swapping weapons while in the Unleashed state. Okay, that's nice. That's pretty big. That is quite big. If you swap weapons while in the Unleashed state, boys, you can immediately use your Ambush skill. That is going to be pretty big for those Untamed gamers. We might see a lot of spicy things with that. Herald. Reduce the pulse of the quickness. Reduce quickness duration. Power into concentration. And then some PvE stuff. Thief. One entertainment reduced bonus damage by 300% to 10% in PvE only. Wow. Fucking, they don't want you to play Deadeye 1 in the chamber in PvE, boys. That's a massive nerf. Jesus. Premeditation also reduced the bonus damage per boon. Reduced bonus. What the fuck? They've nerfed Deadeye massively. Yes. Anyone abusing Shadow Flare or Shadow Swap and they were hitting for like 9k, 10k, and then hitting for the second hit was doing like 12k or something. You're basically doing like 23k, 24k damage with this skill. It was kind of busted. It's kind of broken. Some people were abusing it in PvP. It didn't really... It's hard to land. It wasn't easy to land. People tend to move around a bit. If you CC them, though, and you catch them with this, you can definitely one-shot people. And I know some people are complaining about it in PvP. I did test it in Wild vs. Wild, and it was also broken in Wild vs. Wild. It was doing crazy damage in Wild vs. Wild. And if you add in Bloodlust and Food and Auras and stuff, you were doing crazy damage with this in Wild vs. Wild. I don't know if anyone managed to get any decent clips of abusing this while you can, or while you could. But I didn't see anybody abusing this in Wild vs. Wild, which is surprising, because a lot of people are using it in PvP. And they've nerfed this now from 2 to 1 coefficiency. So yeah, that is a huge nerf, and to be honest, kind of justified. It was not instant cast, and you have to throw it, but there was a cast time. But once you casted initially, then you could spam the second cast, so you would basically do big burst damage. And if you do that from stealth and some CC, or the enemy has some cooldowns, like it's just basically you're just clapping them. You're clapping them really hard. But yeah, they nerfed that, and to be honest, they needed to nerf that. That was pretty broken. Spectre, Shade Step. I was going to say Shadow Step. Shade Step. Reduced Alack duration. Okay, that's PV nerf. Strength of Shadows. This trait no longer reduces incoming damage and no longer increases the duration of torment inflicted by Rot Wallow Venom, but instead increases torment damage by 25%, in addition to converting Vitality to Expertise. Larcenous Torment no longer increases torment damage, because they've obviously buffed it there. Or is this a different trait? Maybe you have to pick one or the other. Instead, steals health from an enemy when you apply torment to them. What the fuck? Lifesteal with torment? Is that got a cooldown? That sounds pretty broken. You have a lot of torment, right? Shadow Sap, increased protection. That's PvE. Arc Divider. Okay, buffed it in PvE. Heat the Soul, increased quickness. That is the patch notes, boys. Keep enjoying abusing what you can. Maybe they get you next time. For now, you're safe. They still haven't nerfed Siege, guys, so keep spamming those ACs, boys.